Hello, everyone. This is Tammy Harper.
Yep.
Okay, Tammy Harper. I see Tammy Kirkpatric Harper.
Yes, it's all of those.
This is my sweet friend. She's been a makeup artist for years and years, and I'm so excited that you are on. You are such a blessing. Everything that you post, and I know we work together, and we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to get into that a little bit. First, how do we met? We met through Brandy.
Brandy, yes.
Which
Brandy, our awesome friend, Brandy.
Yeah. Yes, and she was looking for people in the industry.
Yep.
Because she was representing a brand, right? So we went through, it was Motives Cosmetics, and they were exploding in the area. It was wonderful, and that's how we got connected.
Yes. And the irony of it all to me was when I met you was that your venue, your family venue, I had been there a couple of times and had did weddings.
Yeah.
And so when I found out about that, I was like, well, I know you.
Yeah.
I didn't meet you, but I know you, you know?
Yeah.
So I love when things happen like that because it's kind of like God's way of like giving you confirmation.
Yeah.
That you're right where you're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I just totally admired how you ran your business and had a team and was all together. Like, I was just like, I want to be like Emily when I grow up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good times. I cannot believe that was almost 10 years ago.
I know.
Sweet Jesus.
I know. My baby, my oldest, she was about a year or two old. So she's about to turn 11 this year.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
But we're still like 25.
Right? I'm like, I haven't aged.
Don't age.
I don't know what you're
These kids are just getting older and they're just getting more fabulous.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, okay, so tell me a little bit about how you got started in the industry. Like maybe a little bit how like you grew up. Did that have a factor in it?
Oh, sweet Jesus, yes. So, I come from a family of 4 girls.
Okay.
And out of all my sisters, I like to think of us as like the Smurfs or the Care Bears. Like everybody has a certain personality or trait, that we're known for. So I like to call myself the spicy one.
Okay.
I was the one that was always doing cartwheels and changing my clothes 3 times a day and had to make sure I had on my lip gloss before we went to the grocery store. Like I have always loved the fashion and beauty industry.
Okay.
And honestly, at a very young age, I thought I was going to be a fashion designer.
Oh, okay.
I loved hair and makeup, but it wasn't my first love.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I remember my father used to say, oh, we're going to send you to Paris. Because I always would watch this fashion show or fashion report that used to come on Saturday mornings. I don't know if you remember that. It was a British lady and she would always go over all the couture.
Oh my gosh.
For Europe. Do you remember that? She had brown hair and like a blunt bang. So after he passed away when I was 15. And I think I didn't have that person, that cheerleader to like, encourage that and push that. And things started to shift for me. So then when I turned 12, me and my older sister are 6 years apart.
Okay.
So when I was 12, she was 18.
Okay.
And she was going to prom. And anybody that knows my older sister knows that she is not a girly girl. Okay. Like Monique could have a ponytail and no makeup and be fine. Mm-hmm. And so the day came for us to do, for prom came. And I just automatically like ran to my mother's bathroom, got all of her makeup.
Oh my gosh.
Sat Monique down. I did her hair. I did her makeup. My mom has a picture of it. And every now and then I'll post it on Facebook. But that I feel like that day was the day where I was like, I could do this. I could do hair and makeup. And I fell in love with it. Okay. So fast forward to high school. And when I was in school, they offer cosmetology as a class.
Okay.
And it was a win-win because you would graduate, you would take your state board, and you could graduate with your cosmetology license, which meant you could go straight into the industry.
Yes.
Which was amazing. And so I went that route.
Okay.
And still felt like I needed to go to college. Well, my mother encouraged me to go to college, but I still felt like, well, maybe I need to go to college. And then I kind of put cosmetology on the back burner.
Okay.
So fast forward a couple of years, and I partied a little too hard in college and got to about my third year and got into a car accident. And things just took a turn, but God knew. And so I was selling cars and going to college at the same time. So I've always had a sales background. I've always loved people. I always loved, the beauty industry. So it's kind of like it was just orchestrated in such a way that it was just God. Yeah. And so I decided to go apply, and I'm really fast forwarding a lot of little minor details. It was time for me. I got laid off from the car dealership. Okay. And it was needed because I knew that wasn't my future, right? Yeah. And so I'm at home. I had just had my son, who was about 10 or 11 months, and I had to figure out my life. His father had passed away when I was 9 months pregnant.
Oh, wow.
His father passed on October 3rd. He was born October 30th of the same month.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it was one of those pivotal points in my life where I had to trust God, because I was like, my whole plan has literally been just torn up, thrown in the trash. I did not know where to go. Yeah. And so my son's father's best friend sat me down and he said, Tammy, I want you to write down all the things that you love to do. I know you're trying to figure it out. I know you whatever it is that you get into next will have to be a career job, because now you have to solely provide for, John. And so I did that. And when I looked at my pros and my cons and what I could see myself doing, everything fell in the beauty industry. Makeup, people, hair, sales. And so I decided at that point that I would go apply for MAC Cosmetics in the mall. And so I did, and I remember I stalked the MAC manager at the time. This is like October of 2001. And I put in my application. I told them I was a licensed cosmetologist, thinking that was just like my key in, right? My foot in the door. And she was like, okay, well, all I have is a 15-hour holiday help position. And I just was like, I'll take it. That was good money back in 2001, right? $15 an hour. And so I went ahead and I applied. I got the job. Within 6 months, I was the assistant manager.
Of course.
I mean, I dove into the company. I love the culture. I love what they stood for. I love the fact that they serviced all ethnicities, all shades, all styles, all people. And that just totally reflected my personality. Yeah. Like, I love everybody. Yeah. And so I stayed there as the assistant manager for about 7 years. And then life happens. I met my husband now. We had our son Xavier, and I just got tired of working every single Saturday and, being told what to do and being told when you could work and when you could take vacation and when you go to lunch. So I had just got into the freelancing part of makeup probably like the year and a half after I started with MAC, and I had only did a couple weddings because being an assistant manager, of course, took priority. Right. And I made in one wedding what I made in 1 week.
Come on. That's right.
Working full time.
That's right.
40 hours at the counter. And I was like, you know what? I think I could be a stay-at-home mom and just work like three weekends in a month and, make the same amount of money and be able to stay at home with my baby. So I sat my husband down and I was like, this is how much I made in one wedding in one Saturday in like 4.5 hours. Yep. And this is what I make 40 hours. Exactly. And this is how much childcare is. Yep. So it was a no-brainer. And we agreed that I would stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom and then do weddings on the weekend, which I loved because I needed the break. Yeah. Right? By the time Saturday comes, you're like, hallelujah. Right. So we did that for, like 5 years. Yeah. And it has been a roller coaster, and I have loved every moment of it, the good and the bad. So that's pretty much how I got started. And then I was freelancing for a couple of years, and that went great. And then I decided to add the hair part back into the makeup.
Okay.
Because as we both know, makeup is not like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Sure.
So I told my husband, you know what, the formal dining room, we really don't use that, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm just going to buy a hood dryer. And I'm going to get some combs and brushes, and I'm going to get some hair because I'm going to start playing with stuff. So I started taking friends and family in my formal dining room that has shifted into my makeshift salon.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point to where it was getting it was busy. I got busy. And so he said, Tammy, you can't do this no more in the house. I'm tired of looking at people.
It's like my home. I need some peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel that
I was
too.
upset because I was like, but babe, I got the roast in the oven. The baby's at the table doing his homework. And Susie and them, they under the hood dryer. We having a good time right there in the dining room. So he pushed me out. He kicked me out.
Okay.
And he encouraged me to get a salon suite, and that's where I've been since 2018.
Okay. Yes, I remember when you were looking at the suites. You
remember that?
Because Evelyn was in that same area. It's a friend of ours. She does nails. She's wonderful, by the way. She's wonderful. And and I remember you were asking about that.
Yep.
And then I had a studio at that point in Tomball. And it was more of an office suites type thing because it wasn't my business is not a salon business. It is
you're on location.
On location. So I remember that, and then I was thinking, that's a big move to have a salon suite, and then you have to have the revenue and the clientele to back that up, right?
Absolutely.
It has to make sense. So
I think we even talked about. I think I came by and talked to you about that, and just was kind of like picking your brain, because I was horrified to have a team, and I was horrified to be responsible for all of it.
Yeah.
And try to make a profit.
Yeah.
But I remember Evelyn telling me, she said, Tammy, I've never not made money.
Yeah.
And she was like, you can do this. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And so,
just jump. You can do it.
I did. I jumped, and I went home to my husband. Of course, like, I don't know, man. I was like, that dining room pays for itself.
Yeah.
With the mortgage. And that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, I'm going to write this check for the deposit, and you're going to make the rent. I was like, well, yeah, but he was like, you're going to be fine. And I have not looked back.
Good.
I have not looked back.
Yeah. So from that, did you feel like your business grew once you made that step, or was it like
right? At first, I think I was so scared that I was always like having sales or having specials.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, come get your hair washed and a blowout and a complimentary haircut. And I found out really quick that is not what you want to do.
No.
And so I think once I figured out how to niche down and to market to that niche is when my groove started happening. And then I made sure, and of course I always had mentors like I would talk to another client of mine who's actually owner of Extreme Lashes, Joe Maselli.
Okay.
She was one of my business mentors, and I remember her just pouring into me and just giving me tips, when I would freelance and do business for them. And so I figured out how to niche down.
Okay.
And really market that to that niche. And that I feel is when that nice stride started coming, making sure that I was booking clients before they left for a service to secure future business.
Yes. That is a must.
It took me about a year and a half.
And it's a different mindset, I feel like, from moving, doing the repeat customer. And weddings are going to be referral and probably not a repeat customer. If it is a repeat customer, it's going to be years before they, do that. If it's like a photo shoot or another wedding or whatever, it's going to be, it'll be years. Yeah, exactly. But you don't see them quite as often. You might see them and they might be like your cheerleaders on social media. But the repeat customer, that is a whole different ball of wax.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And you market completely different. I think we're spoiled when it comes to the makeup industry because like you and me, majority of our clients are referrals.
Yes.
Like, I rarely have to market makeup.
Right.
Or for makeup for photo shoots, wedding or whatnot. Mm-hmm. The hair side of things is a totally different beast.
Yeah.
You have to market that. And sometimes you may get a client that doesn't like the way you do it. Sometimes they may, you have to speak a different language. You have to stay up on training.
Yes. That's so important.
Oh my goodness.
So important.
Yeah, like eyeshadow's gonna always be eyeshadow, lipstick's gonna always be lipstick. The steps you take to apply makeup are always gonna be about the same, right? But the hair industry is totally different. Like, there's a new product on the market every 5 minutes.
Right, or a new technique or a new technology or whatever. You have to stay on your game.
And you have to stay on the game. You have to stay on top of getting certified and getting education.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. So you were talking about your niche, and what, in your opinion, what did you niche down to?
I niched down to healthy hair.
Okay.
And the reason why I decided to do that was because at the end of the day, when you take out those extensions, when you come out of a protective style, when you mess up your hair color, at the end of the day, you're going to need that hair to be healthy to do the next thing, right? And so I figured I can kind of grab from every single technique, style, trend, and root them back to healthy hair. You're going to have to come back to me.
Yeah.
When that other style is messed up, or if you are in a season of just trying to get your hair to grow,
yes,
you're going to have to come back to me. And that's that client that does not like to wash their hair, or do not have shampoo. They're just not hair people. Those people will pay. They will cut from their grocery, from their food money, their gas money, to make sure they can come get their hair done.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that was a secure, stable clientele, and it also caused me not to have to buy so many products, right? Like, I didn't have to go through so many certifications. I mean, shampoo's gonna be shampoo, treatments are gonna be treatments,
right?
Being able to identify what the client needs is a little bit more on autopilot. And communication doesn't have to be so precise.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So with that, so why did you decide, instead of going into like a salon or that type of thing, why did you decide to do the booth rental?
Flexibility.
Okay.
I think it's one thing that has always been important to me, especially losing family members so young, is a work-life balance.
Okay. Good.
And I don't care what your employer tells you, there's never, ever going to be 100% work-life balance when you're working for somebody else, because what's priority to you is not a priority to your employer, right?
Right.
And I wanted that freedom to be able to say, hey, I gotta go pick up my kid, or hey, my kid's soccer game or football game is Saturday and I need to leave by 2.
Yeah.
But it did not have me compromise how much money I could make.
Okay.
So that was very important. Family is very important to me.
Yeah.
I mean, even that's what the word of God says, right? It's God, it's your husband or your spouse or you, and then your family.
Right.
Work is not even in the top 3. So that's how I like to live life.
Yeah.
And it's brought me so much joy. And I really feel like, especially in today's society, culture, trends, it's so important to pour into your children and put eyes on your kids, and to sit at the dinner table, or to go out to McDonald's for ice cream, or look them in their face. One of the biggest things to me that I tell people is the most valuable thing to me is time.
Yes, you can't get it back.
You can't get it back.
You can make money, spend money. That's a renewable resource, but time you cannot get back.
We can make money over and over and over again, but only God knows how much time we have.
Yep.
And you can't make that up, like so.
Yep.
That's priority to me.
Yes, that's so good. That's so important, especially with like when you have kids and they're growing up in the type of world that it is today. You know, it is like so important to connect. You know, and on their level. I know with my kids, they all have their own personalities, right? We have like the boy, like I told you earlier, the boy, the 3 girls, and then the boy, the baby, and just they all have different love languages.
Yes.
Which is phenomenal to me, you know? So really meeting them on their level, not what is like good for me at that time. It's like, okay, no, wait, like my little girl, she's asking, Mama, can you play with me? What does she want? She wants time. She wants quality time on her level. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. You know, I could be Barbie, you know? I'm fine with that.
Right.
Look at her hair. Look at her makeup. It's fun, you know, and that, like you said, if you have your priorities straight, man, that joy is just going to flow in, and that purpose is just going to flow in, and it puts things in perspective, you know.
Right. And then when they grow up and they can say, Mama, remember when, you know, you used to do, like me and my mom used to do handstands up against the wall.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that joy, that time, man.
Yeah.
I that is so important to me.
Yeah.
You know, it breaks my heart that and I really feel like God has aligned the way my life has been laid out to be able to understand that about being a single parent, because for that, until I met my husband, I was a single mom.
Yeah.
And my son, when I first started at Mac, you know, it was inside of a Macy's. So I would have to close sometime. It was 9:30 at night. My son went to a 24-hour daycare, you know, and I was having to pick him up at like 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
You know, and I just was like, as soon as I can get out of this, I will. But at the time, hey, I had great benefits. I had a 401k.
Yes.
And I was putting food on the table. So I did what I had to do. But I feel like it made me even more grateful to be an entrepreneur, you know, and to value that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different perspective, you know, like you're more of at that point, more of a server, you know, like servant's heart.
Absolutely.
And I feel like for people who have servant's hearts, they automatically, like, they are on the fast track to leadership.
Yes.
At that point, you know.
Yeah.
And people who don't know how to service people or take care of people or care about people, they ain't going nowhere fast. They're not going anywhere, you know. And they're actually inhibiting, I feel like, their business because nobody wants to be around that.
Exactly.
You know?
And energy is sensitive to energy.
Yes.
So if you're dealing with and I know you have been in that situation where you've done a client and they just have a stank energy.
Oh my God, like, get me out of here.
You like, this girl ain't even getting lip liner. She getting lip gloss. So that is so good because as I have grown and gone through so many trainings on leadership, that's the first thing they teach you is you have to be a servant before you can be a leader. You have to understand what the people that are around you are going through. Absolutely. So that you can kind of be sensitive to that.
Sure.
Yeah. And service them properly.
You have to be, you know, empathetic and compassionate, and you have to see people for that is a human in your chair. And, you know, like when they sit down in a chair, they can bring the weight of the world and just say, you know, girl. You're like, whoa, hang on a minute. I have an
amazing story to add to that. I was at the Mac counter one day, and a woman had come up to the counter, and she had that stank attitude. And I could just kind of sense it, and I'm paying attention to what she's looking at. And she was looking at the blushes. It was like she was looking at the blushes, but she wasn't looking at the blushes. Like she was kind of just there. And so it was just me there and her, and it was an afternoon. And so I was bored, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get this woman a makeover because my shift don't end for another 2 to 3 hours.
Let's make this fun.
And try to make the time go by fast.
Yeah.
And so we got into it, and I, you know, was explaining what I was doing to her step by step. And I just randomly, Emily, she goes, my daughter just died.
Oh, my gosh.
And I just was like, okay. But then something inside of me was like, that's why.
Yeah.
Her whole mood was just different. Yeah. And like you said, we can sense it, right?
Yes.
And so from that point on, I approached her differently. And, you know, we had a moment, you know, in that. But we have to, as leaders, as servants, we have to be sensitive to that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But you got to love it, too. Yeah. You got to love people.
Yeah.
And I love people.
Yeah, for sure. And then just seeing them, you know, when I was in nursing, I would say, you know, especially the type of nursing I was doing, I'm with people on the worst day of their life, you know, and then doing weddings, you're with people on the best day of their life, right? So it's like a pendulum swing, and still stressful. It can be real intense, you know, but really, and for some other people in that party or whatever, that client, you don't know what they're going through just in life. You know,
so true.
I've had people too that they're like, you know, the mom that has to keep it together because it's her daughter's day and she wants it to be everything to go well and all of that. But, you know, the dad's going to be there and his mistress is going to be there and she wants to look like she has it together, you know, but she's falling apart, you know, and that's like, those are the moments that you have to like attend to them and say, you know what, girl, you got this. You look beautiful. You know, or just give them a minute to cry.
Right.
And just get it out. You know, and so just create that space for that. It's so important. But I feel like as makeup artists and hairstylists, we can read people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You better.
Like, you know, especially if they're like, oh, it's fine, or it's good, you know, and they're like, but your face, you know, those
where
little micro.
Teeth? Yeah. Where's your smile?
Right.
You're lying.
But yeah, you're lying. Yeah. Can't lie to me. So yeah, we'll fix it. But yeah, it's just, I think that's the people skill is a whole skill like set that you have to master, you know, and you it'll be trial by fire, you know, real. Once you get in front of people, you're going to learn.
And discernment. Yeah. That's where discernment, you exercise it every single client, really. Yes. And that was such a good piece because you were so right. Like, and also like when a parent has passed.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, you know, they might have a memory table or something that's, you know, something old, something blue, something brown. It may be something of that parent or grandma or something, and, you know, having to just, like you said, give them that moment.
Yeah.
Or just pour into them and just let them know, hey, they're here by spirit. They're here in spirit. I mean, you know, they're not gone. They're with you just in a different way.
Right. Yeah. So important.
So good.
All kinds of walks of life. You see all kinds of things. I know we just recently did a wedding together, and the people were wonderful. Okay. The event was wonderful. They were kind of crazy.
And a very sketchy part of town.
Yeah, I was like, we pulled up and we're like, where
I was like,
are
girl,
we?
where you at? We going in together and we leaving together.
I was like, this is not the norm.
Like, are my tires gonna be on my car?
Right. Yeah.
Did you lock your car, Emily?
Right.
Yeah. It was. Whew.
It was funny.
But the people were awesome. They were really good people. But yeah, that was interesting. That's one of those small bits about our job that people don't think about.
I know.
Safety, right?
Safety. Yeah. And especially when, you know, I have like team members going into, you know, places. Now we have Google, right? Yes. You can see the house before you get there, right? So I always do my security check, you know, like make sure that, you know, get the information about the area and all of that. Yeah. But before we had that, I would always make sure that we sent in artists, even if it was just a 1 or 2 type service thing. They always had somebody there, because especially if you're going to a residency, you never know what you're walking into. Like crazy,
right? And that is the scary part. And I always try to make sure, like before Google, right? Somebody knew where I was at.
Yes.
You know, like hey, or I would call my husband or my mom or somebody and let them know, hey, I'm in this area of town. I'm on this street. Y'all can find me if I don't.
If I'm not home by dark,
y'all better call. Yeah, and you can tell the news reporter she was on this street at this time. The last time I talked to her, so y'all start here.
Yep.
Yeah, the things we do for the business.
I know, right?
For the coin.
I know, crazy, but. Okay, so then let's see. So you've done weddings, and I love that you said that you were you could make in one weekend what you made Like,
yes, in a whole week at Mac.
Yep.
So my 40-hour check was literally what I made in like 4.5 hours doing a wedding. And that's when my whole, like, my little brain was like, like, girl, if I could do this every single day. And I was like, okay, Tammy, that's not realistic. Like, that's a whole nother hustle in the conversation. But that's when things shift for me, and I saw the possibilities of being an entrepreneur. Because before that, right, I'm working for a cosmetic company, which I loved. I could not do what I do without that experience, without the, you know, the updates and the trainings and dealing with different clients coming and different concerns walking into a cosmetic counter or walking up to a cosmetic counter. So I felt like it was very important for me to stay at MAC, you know, until I felt confident. But then you get to a point where you're just like, okay, the foundation has been set. Yeah. It's like, I tell people all the time, it's like cooking. Once you know how to make pancakes or, you know, the foundation of something, you figure out how to add different things.
Yeah, it's time to build on it.
Yeah, you build on it. Exactly. Yep. And so that part of life, I think, or that season or level of maturity, because it does take a level of maturity, because you have to be disciplined. Yes. You know, that was literally how me and my husband paid for our wedding. Like, all my freelance money is how we did not want to get married in debt. We wanted to walk away from our wedding not owing anybody. And so for a year, we were engaged for a year. I literally was working full time and still was freelancing. So it was, what that looked like was I would go do a wedding in the morning, and let's say I'd be done by 3, and then I would go to the mat counter and work like 5 to close or 3 to close. Okay. And I was tired. Yeah. But I didn't owe anybody anything. That's right. So you have that opportunity there's no cap. There's no cap on how much money you can make in this industry. And that's what I love about it. Like, how hard you work is how much money you're going to make. Exactly. The effort you put in is what you get out. Yes. That's right. But you have to, like we were talking earlier, you have to be the leader and the servant. You have to be the brush cleaner. You have to be the professional makeup artist. You have to be the secretary. You have to be the marketing person and be okay with that. Yeah. So that money is great, but it does. There is another price. It's just not a monetary. Yeah, monetary price. But it's so worth it when you can, work your butt off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, work 3 days a week and make what you could make at your job. Exactly. And that's 2 weeks. That's exactly what I had to look at is whenever I became a single mom, I had a little baby. She's probably 5-6 months old at that point. And I had been a nurse and I had my business, so I would, before her, I would do nursing during the week and then do my business on the weekend, and it is what it is. But then I was like, wait, my heart is to be a mom. Yeah. I want to be a mom. That was like my whole thing, is working towards being a mom, Yeah. And I had to make some really tough decisions, and even to the point where people looking at me like I'm stupid. like I was like, okay, well, I could either do nursing full time, okay, but again, you run into somebody who is going to tell you when you can get off, if you can go see your baby, if you can do Christmas, maybe, that type of thing. And I was like, or I can put all of my energy into my business and work 3 days a week, or schedule it as I need to. I could still be the mom. I could still do dance recitals. I could still do Christmas. And then whenever I made that decision, it opened up, and I was like, man, it skyrocketed. I needed a team. I needed more help, and at that point I made more than nursing could have ever paid me. In half the time. And I could still be a mama. And the thing is like people, I would be doing hair or whatever, and they're like, so, did you go to school for this? And did all the normal questions. I'm like, yes. I was like, but I used to be a nurse. And they're like, oh, you gave up nursing for this? And I'm like, girl, if you only knew. If you only knew. And when they look at you and they're like, you're smart, I'm like, that's kind of rude, that's kind of a rude thing to say. But some of the smartest people are in this industry. Oh, yes. Some of the smartest people, most dynamic, like cutting edge people
in this industry.
Yes.
They're not nursing, just so you know.
And I love that you touched on that, because after I dropped out of school, I kind of felt like a failure. Like, I was just like, how am I I don't have a degree. Mm-hmm. Even though I had a license, I didn't value the license.
Yes.
Because I hadn't really used it, right? Mm-hmm. I graduated from high school, went straight to college. So I didn't even get an opportunity to see what I could have made.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll never forget that I ran into a girlfriend of mine who went straight into the beauty industry straight out of high school. She's retired now. She actually retired at 42.
Wow. Made some good decisions.
Man, she made some good decisions. She did go to school, but she just got her associate's degree just so that she could understand the gist of business.
Yeah.
And then she did hair from the age of 18 until her 40s. So think about it. She had been in the beauty industry almost 30 years at that point.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? At 42, 43 years old.
That's crazy.
I was so jealous. I was mad.
Yeah.
But I remember us talking when we first met, and we were talking about that, just the entrepreneurship and the balance, and just the many ways you can make money.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that because there's no cap, like we were saying earlier, and especially after COVID.
Oh, yeah.
COVID made you rethink your whole life, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and then you think about sickness, you know, because that's another part of it too, like being a nurse, right? You have to make sure you're not bringing anything home to your family.
Your family, yep.
You know, and the beauty industry, we ain't around you that long.
Right. And
we wash our hands and we clean and sanitize all of our stuff. So it's like you have a lot more control.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, so I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to think outside the box, I feel like. And I love thinking outside the box. That's my favorite, you know? Yes. And it's one thing that gets me oh man, because especially with the industry, it shifts, it changes. Yes. There's always trends, there's different ways of marketing. Yes. You know, all of that. And it's a big elephant to eat, you know what I mean? But once you take it down and you do the steps, it's like, man, it's like a puzzle to me. Yeah. And I love puzzles, you know? I love figuring it out.
Take it apart to put it back together again.
Yeah, it's a lot, you know, but just hearing different people's experience and how you got to this point, and how that affords you to, you know, be a
quality
mom
of life.
And do all the things and the balance. And I think that is really important. Just even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're working in like a salon or whatever, really finding the place that will help you achieve that balance, or at least respect that boundary as far as, okay, you know, my family is my heart, my family is why I'm doing all this, you know, so if they do need to take off or whatever, then they can absolutely do that. Yeah.
You know, and even taking that just a step further, how to stay in the beauty industry, right?
Yes.
Like the professionalism. We get that flexibility, but with that flexibility, don't mess up your reputation, because then you're going to be broke.
Girl, there was this trend I saw on TikTok or something, and it was these new little artists that are part of that generation that they're like entitled and they're just not, I don't know what it is, but the client they would say, okay, I want to be blonde, or I want to be brighter, or whatever, and they turn the client around, wouldn't let them see, and they straight up did like chocolate or red or whatever. And it's like, she's mad at me. Like, you could see it on the person's face. They're just like heartbroken. Like, you just broke trust with everybody, and then you recorded it and you're telling everybody how untrustworthy you are. Like, I feel like that is
so disrespectful and so rude, and you're literally just picking up your career and throwing it in the trash.
Yes,
because you just revealed to millions of people that you do not care about them. No. And it's all about your selfish gain of social media.
Right. So you can get some likes or some whatever.
I don't know. Totally in this industry for all the wrong reasons. Yes. And that is just, I believe in karma, honey. And you reap what you sow. I don't want that harvest.
Yes.
And so with that being said, I feel like that is what's missing as far as the social media post about on TikTok. And I mean, you do see it every now and then, but people really focusing on that part, integrity, consistency. And I know you have to. I have done weddings sick. I have done weddings with 103 fever, walking pneumonia, bronchitis, because this is this person's day. Your wedding day only, hopefully, is only once in a, it's once in a lifetime.
Right.
And so I hate when I hear or I get a client that calls me at literally the 11th hour and is like, hey, my makeup artist or my hairstylist canceled on me. Who does that? And in my mind, I'm like, who does that? Somebody who doesn't depend on this for their livelihood is who it is. And so what I tell clients in that instance, I'm like, this is why it's so important to, one, talk to your makeup artist or your hairstylist beforehand. Don't just go off of what you see on Instagram or social media. Have a conversation. It's worth the consultation.
Right.
Yes, it may be a little bit of a extra fee, but the peace of mind that you gain from knowing that this person has been in the building or been in the industry for 20 plus years, who uses professional products, who can look at a picture and reiterate it on my face with my different eye color, my different face shape. That is a skill set.
Yes.
You don't want the latest person that puts, this is my biggest pet peeve, when they have 8 layers of product on their face. I'm like, y'all, we live in Texas.
Right.
By the time you put them 2 primers on, the setting powder, the spray, the foundation, the concealer, the contour, girl.
It's too much.
Girl, your face weighs 5 pounds.
Right.
So it's like, it doesn't take all that. But you would not know that if you did not have a consultation with a professional makeup artist and stylist. So I when I come to those experiences when someone's coming to me at 11th hour, I see it in a loving way. Of course, I'm not like angry about it, but a professional is going to make sure that your day or your event is seamless.
Right.
That's what we do, and that's the difference between people playing makeup artists and people who are depending on this as a career.
100%. 100%. And we get those calls all the time.
All the time.
And it's like, how come, now your problem is now my problem, and yes, I'm going to help you fix it, but yes, you're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay.
When you could have saved yourself the energy and the heartbreak and the money and all of it if you just would have picked somebody and done your research before. You always want to do things before. And I feel like the brides that, I call them the binder brides, that they have everything binder and color coded and all. I'm like, that's my bride, because they have everything planned. They know, they've read their contract. If you're, wanting to get a makeup artist and they don't have a contract, then there's no, don't do that, especially on a special day like that, But they at least they've read it. They have it in a binder, and they have their pictures. Back then it was pictures printed out. Now it's on their phone
in your binder.
Right. But those are the ones that are chill.
Yeah.
They take all the uptightness and all of that beforehand, and they have it planned out. But the ones that are so on the fly, they have such anxiety. Like, you just ruined your whole day. You ruined your whole day.
That's it.
Because you didn't plan
and want
it.
Everybody else around you to fix it.
Right.
And you're not paid for that fix.
Yeah.
Them Band-Aids cost money, honey.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, just the way of thinking. And I feel like that has come from experience, but the why we do this, because, like our whole livelihood, our experience with our children, it mattered, We
have car notes.
Yes.
We have health insurance to pay for.
Right.
So if we take it a little bit more serious. We're not living with mama and daddy.
Nope.
Our husband doesn't pay all of our bills.
Right.
I think it takes a different importance. It takes on a different it's just priority for me to make sure you like what I do, and then you tell all your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And they use me.
Right. Again and again.
And you know what else is another point I want to bring up is staying in the game. Don't give up. Don't give up. Like, I know some people are like, well, I've only done one face, or I've only done like just family. No, don't give up. Like on Saturdays when you have a best friend or somebody that just is going out to a concert or going out to dinner with their husband, or touch as many faces as you possibly can with different skin textures, tones, colors, eye shapes. Like, learn it all. Always have your hands in it, because I feel like that's the biggest teacher.
Yes. It's experience.
Yes, it's experience. Go to the makeup counters. Go to Ulta, Sephora. Touch the makeup. Get the Fit Fat Fun box where you can pick, you can pick products that you can play with, Understand the difference between a hyaluronic acid that's $50 and one that's $5.
Oh,
or a lip liner, right?
Talk about it. Yep.
NYX versus Estee Lauder. They look the same, but honey, them ingredients is different.
No.
But that's something only a professional artist would be able to explain to you.
Yes. And I feel like that's so important, knowing the products that you put on. That's the whole reason I had went to Motives, because I called MAC. I had a client one time that had a very severe allergy to a specific ingredient. And I said, okay, well, let me check this out. So I called MAC, and I couldn't get a yes or no if that they had their ingredients, product, in that. And so I was looking for something that had everything that I could at least read.
And understand in Google.
Yes. And so, but that is so important. I feel like that sets you apart too, that you're not just willy-nilly putting things on people.
Right.
You know what you have in your products, the quality of it and what's going to happen. So then when you ask that question, oh, what are you allergic to? Which you should be asking every client before you do that.
And as professionals, we know to do that.
Right. Right. So when they say, oh, I have this ingredient, or I have, avocados, or I'm allergic to lavender or whatever, like, okay, ding, 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 I know I have something in my kit.
Dye.
Yeah, different dyes, or gluten dye. Even, or whatever it is. You have to know what you're putting on people, just to make sure that you're protecting your business.
Yes.
Right? Because you're creating a liability for yourself if you don't know.
Yeah.
So for someone who's going to start in the industry, what is the main thing? Like, what advice would you give them before starting or as they're starting to be successful, have a successful outcome?
Well, there's so many things. First of all, make sure you love it.
Yes.
Make sure you are in. Going back to that list I wrote. When I wrote that list, it was a list of things that I just love. It wasn't about how much I could get paid for that list or the things on that list. It was just things that I loved. I love people. I love fashion. I love hair. I like change. I do not do good with routine. You might as well just slip my wrist and put me in a corner. And just that opportunity to always be evolving. Right? Those key things. Make sure you are in the right industry. And sometimes you think you want to be in the beauty industry, but maybe you really want to be an esthetician.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just want to, fill in brows all day long. There is a niche for that. Yeah. So the first advice I would say is sit down with yourself and really make sure, is it makeup you want to do? Is it hair that you really like to do? Is it eyelashes you really like to do? Like, figure out what part of the beauty industry you want, because it's hard. Yeah. It's hard making that commitment, because there are going to be so many highs and lows. And so I would say to make sure that you are committed to this, because once you get in it and it's not always doing as well as you want it to do, you'll still stay true to the commitment.
Yes. The
second thing I would say is find that niche. Figure out what it is. Do you just love doing eyeshadow? There's some people that just they don't even want to do foundation. Yeah. Do you want to do weddings? Do you want to do photo shoots? Do you want to do theater? What type of makeup do you want to do? What type of hair do you want to do? Yes. And then find you a mentor. Oh, of course, you can always, from the privacy of your own home, watch people on YouTube. So find you a couple of people. I would say a handful of makeup artists, hairstylists that you can follow. And really just that give you a lot of good information. Yes. About being professional, about application, and about versatility in this industry. Because you can't, one of the reasons I know I call on you is because I know you do all shades, colors, shapes, sizes. You do hair, you do makeup. Like I know you're a professional. I know you're going to do all of the things, right? And I'm not going to be looking over you and be like, Emily, what eyeshadow is that?
Yeah.
What brand is that?
Yeah.
So making sure that you are following people that use quality products that can explain what they're using, and explain to you what they're doing, and are professional. So figure out if you're committed to this industry, find your niche, follow mentors on social media, and then partner with someone, or if you can get a job at a beauty store like Sephora, Ulta, MAC beauty counters, regardless, get your hands in it.
Yes.
Even if it's a part-time job, like maybe you could do holiday help. I know a lot of they used to do holiday help where you just worked October to like January, right?
Okay.
Because that'll really tell you if you cut out for this business working those hours.
Yeah.
And then see, that way you can touch and feel and always be ever present in all the new products that are constantly coming out. And one of the icing on the cake too, with working for the beauty industry, is you get gratis. You get free stuff.
Yes.
So that gives you an opportunity to go home and really dive in, and then surround yourself with other people who want to do the same and partner. Like we used to do a lot of trading. Like do my makeup for this and I'll do your hair for this.
Yeah.
So somebody who's not as scared to try new things, right?
Yes.
And new techniques. So I feel like that once you get that part down, that's like the groundwork. That's like the foundation. Then you need to focus on the marketing. There's a lot of false, fake people out here, like making you think they got it all together. Y'all, they don't. They don't. And so make sure that once you have committed to this being a career for you, that you go through the proper channels, get your virtual assistant, or get research how powerful social marketing is, which is a whole nother podcast, right?
Yep.
And then find a product line that you really like. Find a couple of product lines, skincare included.
Yes.
Make sure you have a clean skincare line. I always tell people I had to learn to kind of step back from MAC, because I was pushing MAC like it was crack. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't know nothing but MAC. So if you asking me about a foundation or, a green, I couldn't tell them. And so when I went out on my own and started my own business, I had to go into Ulta and be like, okay, the person who can't afford a $60 foundation, or a teenager, I'm not going to expect an 18 or 15-year-old to be out here buying, Estee Lauder. So what other lines are still really great quality, but at a more reasonable price?
Yeah.
So finding a higher end, a mid end, and a lower end product that's accessible to people through Amazon, through going to the store, that they can use, and it's still really good. They don't have to compromise the quality or compromise the price for the quality.
Right.
I think that is a great place to start, and then you got to wear it.
Yep.
You got to wear it. You can't say you're a makeup artist and you don't ever have a lick of makeup on.
Right.
It's like, girl, at least put on some mascara and some lip gloss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or make sure your skin is flawless. You can't be walking around here, looking like whoever, You are always a walking billboard for your brand.
Yes.
And then that's where I want to end with, is it's your brand. There is enough room for all of us in this industry. Oh, yes. All of us bring something to the table that the other person cannot bring. And really it's okay if you don't like to do very vibrant colors. Yeah. There is a market for somebody that wants to do a natural, clean look. Yes. So be okay with that. Find your niche. Find your products that you can recommend to clients on every level, high, mid, and low. Accessible products, find your mentors, find brands, and make the commitment.
Yes. Well, I feel like you have to, once you're committed to that, like you have a responsibility.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're going to be in your own business, for sure. But then finding, what I always teach and preach is that, yes, you're doing the service, but you are the expert.
Yes.
Okay. And in order for you to be the expert, you have to know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Right? So the education part comes into it, even if it's educating yourselves on products or, like you said, having a mentor or teaching you a tip or a trick or something like that. That sets you apart from the next guy.
Yes.
But your customers are looking for answers, and they're looking to you for the answers. That's how you're going to continually do business with them. So not only are you providing a service for them, you're providing
the educational piece,
but you're also providing, like I said, like you're the expert. I was gonna say something else, but I can't really remember what it was. It just like left me. Mom brain, it happens.
Right.
But having something that is more like a background business.
Yes.
So you are going to have your service industry, but you're also going to have your background business, whether it's pushing products or pushing your your next appointment time or whatever to help maintain them. You are the expert.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
I love that you said that, because I remember I did a client, and she scheduled a one-on-one lesson. Like she wanted to learn how to put the makeup on, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so we booked it and I did it, and it's about 3 weeks later, she calls me, she's like, Tammy, I have this event that I'm going to, I need to do my makeup. I'm like, didn't you just pay me to teach you how to put it on? She's like, yeah, but I want you to put it on.
Yeah.
So it's like being, even though you're teaching them how to put it on themselves, they still don't in other words, don't be afraid to teach people how to put makeup on.
Yeah.
But that is something you have to be able to be a teacher. Like you said, you have to be able to explain what you're doing, and don't be afraid of and think that that's going to take away from your business. Like a client is there because they trust you.
Yeah.
Going back to you saying being a teacher, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
That happens. It's a trust that happens. She trusts that, I was going to teach her, but she also trusts that I can come back to him any other time, and she can do it for me too.
Well, that's what I say too. It's like I always tell other people in business, your business grows at the speed of trust.
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Yes. So. That is so good. I need to. I'm gonna borrow that.
Yeah. Go on, girl. Borrow it.
Yes.
But yeah, and that's the truth. Is not, people kind of have a lack mentality. They're like, oh, if I teach this person to do their own makeup, they're not going to come back to me. They come right back to me.
They really do.
Yeah, they really do, because that's like,
they're never going to do it the same way you did it.
No.
I remember sitting at the Mac counter when I worked there, and this is when I was getting married, and we were playing with different looks for my wedding, and I had the girls, just do different looks, and I was just like, there's no way I could do this. Like, are you going to do my makeup for my wedding? I'm a makeup artist saying this. So the way you put on makeup, no one else is going to think of the color combinations, the application steps. It's all customized by you. That's why it's so important to establish your brand and how you do things.
Oh, yeah. So important.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. And it's okay. Like, I used to be so insecure working. I mean, when I first started with Mac, oh my God, I'm around people who've like done Janet Jackson and like superstars and have gone to New York Fashion Week and who travel the world being artists and trainers. So I was just like, I never will be able to do makeup like that. I'll never be able to do brows like that. But then I had to get to that point where I'm just like, but they don't do makeup like me either. Mm-hmm. And there's some people who like to look at stars and TV and print. They like to look at that type of makeup, but that's not really what they want for their wedding day,
right? Or
for their photo shoot. And once I understood that part of it, I was just like, oh, so there's a lane for me too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And then I got more confident in that. But I remember, like, I'd be like, such and such eyeliner's just always so crisp. Like, how do they get that line so even? You know what I mean? And it's just like, you can get there too. But it's okay if you don't like putting on eyeliner. If you just like to have a ton of lashes.
Well, I feel like that's for the comparison. In my opinion, it inhibits your creativity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That just like stops you from being you and going to your market and people that love you for how you do things. Comparison will always kill creativity.
It really does. It really does. Yeah. And when you can get a grasp of that, man, it really does take that heaviness or, that confidence stealer away from you.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah. So, okay.
Oh, dang. It's been an hour.
On point. 1 hour.
I know. Look at that.
That's
that
funny.
Was fun.
Well, thank you so much.